Okay, so now we have the Gatsby source file system collecting and giving us the file information we need for our blog. We can now start adding some additional information. So we're going to do that for the site metadata, which is just information about the site. And this is just like a configuration object. And then in here we can put a title and a description. If I could actually type. Okay, and our title is going to be localhost, and okay, so if we save that and we take a look at our GraphQL Explorer here, if we hit refresh, I'm not sure entirely if we need to kick off the dev server again. Let's just check for some open braces, site. Oh no, we got it down here already, site metadata. And then we can pick out a description, the title, and then run that. And it's null. Okay, so maybe we do need to start the dev server again. So let's do Control C, stop that, and then yarn develop. Wait for this to finish. Now we should have the window pop open in Chrome here. We'll just close that. Let's try refresh this and run this again. Cool. So here we have our site metadata, where we can get this information. This is sort of static. It doesn't change throughout the site. So what we're going to do is set up a hook with React, where we can pull this information into the components we need when we need it. So let's just set up the React hook quickly. Let's do it in terminal. Let's pop this over here. And let's create a folder. That's my cat. Source. Not utils, we're going to call it hooks. And then pop open Explorer here. And then in the hooks folder, we're going to want to touch a file, and we're going to call it use site metadata. In hooks directory, use site metadata. And that should open up in here. So our site metadata, we can take a look at this from, it's basically the Gatsby one. So Gatsby metadata hook. And then we'll see, this is basically the exact syntax we're going to use in our hooks file. And let's open up the browser over to the right here. Okay. So let's close this in our hooks folder. We're going to import from Gatsby. We're going to import GraphQL and static query. And from here we're going to export const use static query, use use site metadata, and there's going to be a function, and from here we're going to get the site data with use static query. So this is going to be const, and then we're going to get the site data from use static query, and then this is a function where we're going to get the site data from, where we're going to use GraphQL. So, and this is going to be a query in backticks, and then our query is basically going to be this site metadata description title inside its own query. So let's just take that and go over here to our editor, and then we're going to give this a name, query, and site metadata query. Save that. But we're also going to want to return something from the query, which is going to be the site metadata. This basically here. So if we hit save on that, and now we're going to want to get this data in React. So rather than have our hello world component over here, let's get some of the site metadata into our index file here. So to do that, we're going to want to use React, and we're also going to want to import our newly created hook from the hooks folder, and use site metadata. And then let's import, did I export it as, I did, yeah, a constant. So use site metadata here, and then within our export here, we use const, and then destructure out the title and the description from use site metadata, which just copy that from use site metadata, which is a function. So we're going to want title. I'm hoping IntelliSense will pick these up. No. Okay, and title and description, and then we're going to want to use that in our return statement here. So goodbye hello world, and in our h1 we'll just get the title, and then we're going to want to wrap these in parentheses because we're going to want to do a p. So we're going to want to wrap these in the imaginary bracket. I can't remember what it's called now, for React, because you can't have you have to have a containing div, or you have to have a wrapper around them. You can't just return consecutive components. They have to be wrapped in one other component. That's why you get div soup in React. And the actual containing div was removed in, I think it's around 16.8. So we can just put in these ghost divs. So if you have the description now, we hit save here. You'll see that we get the localhost log for the title, and for some reason the P isn't turning up. Is that because I can't spell description? Description. No, I'm pretty sure that's the right spelling. Just be doubly sure. Oh, description. On description. Yes, sorry about that. And then we get this part here for returned from our site metadata query. So the idea is that now we can start adding lots of information which we can use throughout the site, and pump in this these variables, when and wherever we need them. So with that done, I guess it's time to move on and do a bit more configuration, and then maybe we'll be able to look at the blog posts we've actually made. So in the next one, we'll look at configuring some styling with style components, and we'll also look at some other styling for like a generic layout for how we're going to structure the rest of the site. Okay, see you in the next one. Thanks.